Again, we're going to be starting on step 8 today, which is a great step. It's an awesome step. It's a step that prepares you to pretty much prepare yourself to get ready to go back into the real world, and making amends and preparing yourself to, think about different people, whoever you had situations with, and, to make amends to. Hey, Nye. Hey. Girl, I'm tired. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give them one more minute. Be 7:05, and then I'm going to get started. I should have wore that shirt and Kurt. Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. Hey, y'all. All right, I'm going to get started, because I know I'm going to get wind up before this is out. This is over. And again, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks, everybody, for coming on. Today, we're going to start on step 8. And I hope that everybody's been following through from step 1, because as we go to the next step, just leads to the next step of life, of our lifestyle. Again, I'm going to read from the actual NA book to get started on the steps, because this is how it works. This is not me. This is what I follow. This was what was put in place for us to learn how to get our lives back together and start living a normal lifestyle, even better than it was before. Hey, Tamika. As long as I can see some names, I'm still going to shout out. I was told, Mom, you don't do that when you do that. I'm going to do it whenever I see it. Step 8. Step 8 says, we made a list of all persons we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. Again, we make a list of all persons we had harmed and become willing to make amends. That is kind of hard sometimes, but it is well needed. Like I said, nothing is easy and simple when you're in distress of pain under the care of addiction, of disease. Hey, Nye, my nephew. Step 8 we're on today. I'll read it one more time because people are starting to pop on. Step 8 is we made a list of all persons we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. As we did on step 7 is what we had to do before this. Remember, we humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. And that was so that we can start, be willing to make amends to the people that we harmed. Okay. And, again, accepting still things that we've done. So on step 8, it's kind of like after each step, if you trust in the step and believe in the step, you're getting stronger and stronger. You know what I mean? And your mind is, you're starting to see, from listening and hearing. And now you should be on that road to start seeing, your shortcomings, all the things that we've done, where you need to make amends to people, and who you want to make amends with. So I'm going to read just this little part on that because this can help. The step 8 is not easy. It demands a new kind of honesty about our relationship with other people. And listen to what I'm saying. The 8th step starts the process of forgiveness. Okay, we forgive others. Possibly we are forgiving. So this was one of the questions that was asked last week. This is truly going out to you as well. Again, it said we forgive others. Possibly we are forgiven from others, basically. By the time, wait a minute, we forgive others, possibly are forgiven. Yeah. And finally, we forgive ourselves. Finally, we forgive ourselves and learn how to live in the world. So in other words, for me, when I started feeling like, Dad, I have to say I'm sorry, or I have to talk to my mom, I have to talk to my children, you know what I mean? I got to talk to my friend, my whoever I did things to, I wanted for them to forgive me, you know what I mean? So I've already through the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 was, developing that part of me that wanted to forgive, and say I'm sorry, because I wanted all these people to understand, me being sick. And I found all this information about this disease out about myself, and started following these steps. And I forgave myself for the things I'd done. And then I became, that step 8 prepared me to help me to accept forgiveness or accept the rejection of wanting to be forgave. So, and with the help of the people in the rooms as well, so it says we forgive others, possibly we are forgiving. And finally, we forgive ourselves and learn how to live in this world again, still with all of what we've been through, and now all of what we are successfully developing our lives and our love and our heart and our minds, to get better, and get well, and learn the emotional part of life, and feeling the emotions of life. The good ones, you know what I mean? Not the one that's our sickness, controls us with, but the part of our emotions and love in our hearts that the sickness freezes so that we can't feel and become crazy, By the time we reach this step, we have become ready to understand rather than to be understood. So I love that part, because, being though this is a selfish program, and how this is developed and formed for us to become, once we forgive ourselves, we have to know that people don't have to forgive us. People don't have to deal with us anymore if they don't choose to. You know what I mean? But we have forgiven ourselves, and we know that we made that effort, for forgiveness and to make amends, and to surrender to people, our wrongs of what we did, even if they're willing to talk about it. But in order to talk about it, they have to be able to listen to us, and from the anger that they have with us, so that they can hear us, and maybe they'll see some sincerity in us, but even if it doesn't work that way, you know what I mean? That you did what you had to do for you, so it's like, I have to do this for me, you know what I mean? Because I'm the most important person, and I understand why you can't accept, my making amends to you, or my forgiveness, for what I've done. Say I stole something from you, I did something or whatever, you know what I mean? Sometimes people can hold on real long with anger. Anger is vicious, you know what I mean? And they can say, F you, I don't want you in my life no more, you never got to worry about me no more, all these things. Words are vicious, they're very vicious. You know what I'm saying? And for the moment, it's anger in some people, and some people really mean it. You know what I mean? So, but for we have to be ready to, accept that, or accept either way and take it one day at a time. This is why we live one day at a time, because a day is a day. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow, and whatever happened yesterday, we learn today, be prepared for today, and then we just deal with our things in a day. This is the part that really makes me strong and acceptive, to whether or not anybody wants to forgive me, deal with me, pray with me, work with me again, you know what I'm saying? Help me, and be on my side, on the side that I need, feel love, let me know that, you understand, what I've been through and how powerful this disease is. Because see, you have to talk about disease. You have to let them know what disease is and what it does to you. You have to let them know how powerful it is, cunning, baffling, and powerful it is, because our language is our language, anybody that's been using or in recovery, we know that is vicious. We know that it is off the chain, when it has the control, but you can get it back by learning these 12 steps, and some people, we've done so many things that we have to be forgiven for or asking for forgiveness because of, you know what I mean? We lie, you know what I mean? And that's what they see, because we did it so well, so that will stunt somebody's growth. Even me, it'll be like, oh, I don't know, you know what I mean? But a person with an open heart and a good heart, and they believe in a higher power, you know what I mean, can open up, and if they choose to, that's the part of it that you have to understand, us as the addicts, and not let it allow us to feed our sickness. Because again, they don't have to, you know what I mean? But you did great because you did, so again, it's a selfish thing. You have to do it for you, and hopefully people will accept the change in yourself, you know what I mean? And forgive you and open back up to you. But then if not, we go to a part like, like I said, we have become ready to understand rather than be understood. We have to understand this. We have to know that this is a possible, for people to forgive us, but then at the end of the day, we can live and let God. Life easier when we know the areas in which we owe amends. It seems hard now, and it's going to be, but once we have done it, we will wonder why we didn't do this a long time ago. You know what I mean? I love that part of it, because we need some real honesty before we can make an accurate list. So step 8 is about making a list of people and places and, whatever things that you want to talk to a person or make amends to or ask for forgiveness, for any of your character defects that, we have had and used unresponsibly, and buck wild crazy and out of our heads, because we weren't even in our heads, and you have to remember that, the emotional side of you was shut down. It was taken from you, so all we can ride off of is the drugs and what disease says, so I made lists, and it worked good. I couldn't do them all at one time. Hell, I'm still doing some of them to this day, but, you make this list, of who you really want to, ask for forgiveness for, hell, for me, and then you'll be receiving some forgiveness too. You know what I mean? Shoot, I talk to dealers and different people that I, did things with or got high with or gave me certain things, you know what I mean? And done things to me, I ask for that, their forgiveness as well, so it's a cleansing. All of it is a cleanser, and it helps you to become stronger and more solid with your change of becoming a recovering addict. You just have to always know and remember the little head that we got on the side of our little necks is still there and still trying to get in and still trying to make you think of something. No, don't ask her, don't ask her. You write whatever names come to your in your head. You be honest. You got to keep the honesty and surrender to what that situation was, and this is needed. Asking for forgiveness is needed. So again, them voices gonna be battling, and with us and trying to scoop in. Disease is always there. I assure you that. You know what I mean? But you have to be aware of it. You know what I mean? And you have to know when it's talking to you, because that's what it is. The subconscious mind is going to talk to you. It's going to talk to you and try to get you to do nothing right and confuse you and to make you think second twice. No, right now I'm thinking, because I'm following these 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholic Anonymous, that has been giving me a peace. You know what I mean? Because now I'm able to think a little bit, and I'm coming to believe in this because it makes sense. It's giving me my brain back, and it's communicating with my heart again. You know what I mean? So anything other on the outside that's telling you something else, you should be focused on the inside of step 8 and from 1 to 8 right now. You know what I mean? And I'm asking you guys, I know I talk fast. I know I say a lot of things, and I jump in a lot of places, but I keep it on the step that we on. I think you should have a pen and pad and write some things down, because sickness is like this too. It'll have you listening today, but then tomorrow you'll be like, how did she say that? What did she say that was? How was that? Write it down. When you hear something that I might say that might give you a chill or might give you a like that, oh yeah, or I don't know if I can do that, or I can do this. Write it down, because that is your best friend in recovery. Writing is the best thing we could possibly do, because our brains is still zigzagging. It's definitely doing that. And we'll forget things because, I told you the brain is all up in the matrix, up in the air, all over the place, and sometimes you might get that right piece to go in, but sometimes it pops out. Remember I told you that? Until you got it locked down. And when you got it locked down, it's going to stay there, So, and that's either on the good of change or going back into the illness. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta know, that's what I mean by that piece it feel like it fits, like going in that little puzzle piece, but you shoving it in. If you have to shove it in, you want to question that. You know what I mean? If it's on a negative. So always write things down. I'm very good at that today because I have to. I'm getting older anyway now. Shit, I'm starting to lose thinking on certain things. But we need to do that. You know what I mean? We always need to do that. So again, asking for forgiveness is a great thing. Asking for forgiveness is another level and is another step up for you to get you back in a humble place and working on your honesty. It's your surrendering. It's all of what we've discussed so far. And you have to work on this hard. It's like I said, for some of us, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be simple, because it damn sure wasn't for me. I'm going to keep it on the real. You know what I mean? I struggled with some things because, see, I wasn't really knowing that my sickness, was as powerful as she is. Trey is a powerful little hussy. You know what I'm saying? And she was always in my head, even when it wasn't so bad, when I'm trying to, change what the step is saying. Follow the step. The truth is going to set you free. The truth is going to give you your heart. It's going to give you your soul. It's going to give you your love. It's going to give you your honesty. It's going to build you and help you become a better person, not only in yourself, but to live in this world again and deal with people, places, and things, knowing that you're sick, and always knowing that you're sick. Again, like I said, I'm dealing with a situation today myself. I lost my baby brother, and sickness is just always there. It don't have to make me want to feel like I want to go get high, but it got me angry, It got me, feeling all in my feelings, and some of them are not good feelings, but I know today I'm not using, I know today that I'm going to take my medication as I am today. My children asked me, was I going to come on today? I said, most definitely I need it more today than any day. You know what I mean? And I have to stay in today, you know? So step 8 for me is strong. You know what I mean? Because I know getting to that step, you know, it has built me to be able to say what I just said. You know what I mean? To be able to not allow my disease to creep in because I've lost my brother. You know what I mean? You know, because this thing comes, it's with you at all times. It comes to you when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're on a vacation, when you just walking through the store. You could be just sitting here watching a movie. It's watching it with you. We sitting there looking at the movie, disease right there, looking at it with us. You know what I'm saying? Always somehow emotionally, it always tries its best to tamper, you know, with your peace, you know, with your sobriety, you know, with your emotions, you know. So always be aware of that. That is another step that's coming up that we're going to talk about, you know, about how it is on, you know, not just people, places, and things meaning anything, everything, you know, everywhere, everybody, you know. So, get some books out. I mean, some papers out, y'all, and y'all write down these things that you hear when I'm discussing these steps, you know, or we just, you know, rolling talking, you know, because you're not going to remember everything. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a lot that you're going to be touched by or felt by. You know what I mean? And if you feel it that well, write it down. You know what I mean? Notes is always good. You got to have them. You know, because there's so much and there's a lot that we have to contain to get to our recovery level, our recovery lifestyle, our normal way of living. I'll put it that way, our normal way of living. You know, hey Mo, again, this is a very aggressive disease. You know what I mean? And these steps that was given to us is the ingredient in how to challenge it, deal with it, and conquer it. You know what I mean? And all it is to understand it. You know, you got to understand how this shit works, you know, and how it works in you. You know, this thing is a powerful thing. It's cunning, baffling, and powerful. I can't say that enough, you know. And, asking for forgiveness is something that is definitely have to be done, you know, as all part of, again, making amends, you know. So, you know, you have to give whoever you want to ask for forgiveness or to talk to about, you know, your forgiveness and their forgiveness, because there's some needs forgiveness to us too, you know. So, but you don't have to go in on it like that. You go for you and what you're going for, you know, because step 7 was kind of for you to get your shortcomings, all that together for yourself, so you can remember, you know, some things, and you know what some people have done, you know what I mean? You know, or have said too, but that don't mean that they mean it, because out of anger, one of our worst symptoms is anger, you know, will have us say a little bit of anything and everything, like, you know, get the F out my face, you know, I hate you, you can never come back here, you don't do this, you that, call us all kinds of names. And we know as addicts that when you say that and you do that, ding, 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 the battle is on. You're going to say whatever you say out your damn mouth, and it don't matter. But at the end of the day, when you're not high, if you remember what was said, it hurts. I know it was pain to me, you know what I mean? And the pain was worse than needing another hit almost, so that's why I got high some more. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to feel no damn pain. I didn't want to feel no guilt. I didn't want to feel none of that shit. And we all go through that as active addicts. You know what I mean? It becomes, look, I don't care. Okay, disease is winning now, and I don't care. You know what I mean? So if I don't care, so he done took that emotion from me, the care emotion. I just don't care. And this is how we get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into our sickness, you know, falling into that black hole, you know, and not knowing how to go around the hole, you know, and whatever we we give our sickness is what it takes from us, emotionally wise. And then before you know it, you just cold. You're just walking around just doing what you're doing. And this is when y'all see what you see. You see the behaviors of how we are, and she don't care. They just don't give a damn. You know what I mean? And And it's not that we don't. It's just like we sold ourselves to the devil. You know what I mean? And we gave him these words, these emotions, these words, and that he took our emotions. The disease just took it and locked it down for as long as we didn't care and we ready to battle you back. You know what I mean? Or we feel like we're being attacked, because don't think that addicts don't feel like they're being attacked, because we do feel like we're being attacked when you say certain stuff. That's just like, go to hell. You follow? So we're going to tell you, go to hell back. Don't worry about me. First things come out our mouth. I'm all right. I can handle me. I know what I can do. You know what I mean? Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And all the time, we just roaming. We just roaming out the mouth, because our emotions that we just sold to disease, that we don't even know that we sold it to disease, and disease just removed it from the emotions part of our hearts. You know what I mean? And separated it from our brains to even think about what we just said. It just takes it and we just forget about it. It don't even exist no more. So this is why a lot of the things that, we do and we say, we need to go back, and say, look, I need some forgiveness, because I said some dirty shit. I said some real messed up stuff. I didn't mean it. You know what I mean? And if the families and the loved ones, they don't understand how our sickness works, they don't believe that. They think you're crazy as shit. You know what I'm saying? And now you're all messed up. You ain't never coming back. You know what I mean? And I'll never forgive what you said to me. Never say never. Never is a word that addicts, recovering addicts, we don't use anymore, because it's never say never, because you don't know what might happen or what you might do. You know what I mean? I think that's for everybody, that wakes up, that gets one day at a time. Never say never. Never can be a vicious word. Never can be something that can be in the way of you, or never can make you, it can cause a whole lot of trouble and a whole lot of pain, So I try not to say never, and it's hard not to say never, because it's just a word that a lot of us use, but you have to pay attention to it as an addict, and a recovering addict, because it's part of our medication in excluding that word from us, because again, sometimes we don't think we're going to ever make it back. You know what I mean? And some people don't. A whole lot of them don't. You know what I mean? And, people say, she gone. She ain't going to come back. It's like that, but that's not true. You know what I mean? I'm back, and there's a whole lot of us that are back. You know what I'm saying? So that also rise my level of believing in that. Never say never. So I kind of like look at that word as a part of the sickness word. You'll start putting all these things together this way for yourself. I know that's how I had to put my pieces back together, to learn how to be strong and understand and keep all the awareness words that I need to keep here, so it can't mess with here. You follow? So again, never say never, writing these people's names down, and possibly allowing yourself to remember, what went on and what was said. Of course, we're not going to remember everything, but some things we do. And you have to be honest with what you said, or what you done, or what forgiveness that you're asking for. The whole thing is about being honest. Got to be honest, because if you don't get honest with yourself, this just don't work for you. You have to be honest, and it has to come from here and here. They got to be rolling like this, connected together as how you do this thing, as loved ones. You know what I mean? They can't be like this. They can't be like this. They can't be like that. They have to be like this. It has to be solid and stuck together. So, again, prepare yourself for this. Prepare yourself for this part of your life right now, and open up, stay open to whatever is going to come with it, from the people that you're asking for forgiveness to. you know, because you already done it for you. That's first thing, first step. You know what I mean? So now you're opening up to make amends and ask for forgiveness so that, you know, life could be, you know, great. Some of us are split up from our kids. Some of us split up from our grandparents. Some of us split up from best friends, you know, and you know you love them, you know what you mean? But this disease got in the way of it. So this is to try to get you guys who are not users to understand us, you know what I mean? And of course, we're going to say some things. We're going to do some things. We stole from you. We did all kinds of stuff, you know what I mean? But that's the us that was sick. That's the us that had no control of what sickness had us do. You know, that little conscience that's in our minds, you know, that took our sanity, you know, and we just didn't know how to get it back. And the only way we know how to do anything is to feed it with more dope. You know, once you become addicted, you know, I mean, that thing is fierce. It's hard to get off. And it turns you into this thing, and it turns your mind into this thing. And it takes your brain and it crumbles it all up, break it up. That beautiful puzzle you had up there, and now the pieces is all over the place. You know, so now we don't know how to put the pieces back. All we know how to do is hear that voice, listen to that voice, feed that voice, which is our sickness, DISEASE, and we become DIS/EASE. So when that slash becomes in that separates disease, man, we got to get that slash out of there in order for us to get ourselves together. And when you started step 1, it was closing. When you started step 2, it was closing. When you started step 3, it was coming back. When you started step 4, it was getting there. You know, and now you at that point on step 8 where disease is disease. It's cunning, baffling, and it's powerful. You know what I mean? You're getting an understanding of it now. You're getting an understanding of, you know, what it took from you, you know, and where you are, and your conscience is coming back. You know, you battling her. You know, you battling this sickness, and your emotions is getting stronger than your thinking. You know what I mean? Emotions is battling real hard to get your thinking to communicate with it so that you can make right choices, right decisions, you know, and right directions in life again. You know, and once that get together and you got the power over it, all you got to do is maintain it. You know what I mean? Maintain it now and keep working on what's helping you if you're going by the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous, because that's sure enough the only thing that helped me, you know, through my addiction and millions of other people that's out here doing the same thing that I'm out here doing, soldiering with these words and sharing our strengths and our hopes with all suffering addicts and people who are not addicts that live the life with an addict. You know what I mean? And go through these pains and, you know, these stories that we tell, you know, you were part of those stories, you know, because you were the people that we were doing this to. You know what I mean? And you are our loved ones. So trying to help you to understand how we work so you can, you know, get educated on, you know, this sickness that is real. You know, it's not like it's not real. Some people are like, oh, that shit don't exist. That shit ain't real. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm living proof. Trust me. It is, you know, and I know a whole lot of you that's watching are, and you know what I'm talking about. But we got to keep spreading this and keep trying to help people, help people, you know, because it needs to be told. It needs to be put out there, you know, where we can understand it. You know what I mean? And so can our loved ones understand it. And just people, period, you know, that haven't dealt with anybody with this sickness. You know, we need to keep spreading these words and keep putting these steps down. You know what I mean? Introducing them to people, you know, because disease now, you know, the way it is now, man, people laugh at this shit. You know, addicts do. They don't think this shit works. They don't even think it exists because they don't give it a chance or an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to keep putting that word out and try to help people, you know, and believe me, it gets better. I know it gets better. It's living proof when you learn how to come to believe in it. You know what I mean? And just read them, you know, for any addiction. I keep saying that, you know, I said that from the beginning, for any addiction. You know what I mean? These are some powerful steps, man. And it's like, it's common sense, it's real. You know, it's like, wow, I just wouldn't have never thought, you know, because a lot of things that I've learned from the 12 steps, it never even crossed my mind. You know, so, you know, and then further I went and then going into the rooms, man, this thing became like life. You know, it was beautiful. You know, I felt great, you know, being around people who were suffering with the same thing that I'm suffering with. You know what I mean? People that I seen that I felt like did worse than me and was really messed up. You know, ain't no such thing as really messed up. Messed up is messed up once you become addicted. You know what I mean? It's just to follow the yellow brick road in that air, in the dark air, in the hole. You know what I mean? Because when you lose self and start dropping down in that hole, you know what I mean? You just dark. It's just dark for you. Nothing exists like it should exist. Your whole world is dark, you know? And so it becomes corrupt and it becomes crazy. You know, then you don't even look like yourself no more, nor act like yourself no more, and can't even be yourself no more because you ain't even got a self. All you got is a darkness. You know, and then that's what everybody see that we don't see. As the darkness start getting dark, we don't see it. You know, I always thought I was cool and a nice person. You know what I'm saying? But then I became an addict, man. I got vicious and got rough and just didn't care, you know, about nothing, not even me. You know, but my sickness was making me think I was doing all right, that my day was a normal day, just like everybody else's, that I ain't changed, ain't nothing happened with me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else talking all that shit, talking all that dumb shit about me. You know what I mean? They need to check themselves. You know what I mean? But they ain't out here doing the shit I was doing. They not out here leaving their kids. They not out here stealing. You know what I mean? Tricking and doing everything that this thing had me out there doing. You know what I mean? And I'm acting like don't nobody see, don't nobody know, and I'm okay. Disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. I can't say it enough. You know, my clients laugh when I say it, but it's like, oh, no. That's like a shot of penicillin or something every time I say it. You know what I mean? Because I got to keep myself clean and aware of this shit, you know, because that's how we live once we become addicts. And this is the things that we have to remember when we become recovering addicts. You know what I mean? Just because we don't use don't mean that we're fixed, because that's just a part of this thing. You know what I mean? That's actually looking up and seeing the light from out of that hole. Now we got to stay out of the hole, you know? So in order to stay out of the hole, we have to change our thinking, and we have to learn some things on how to do it, because our brains was tampered with so bad it was poisoned. Your brain was poisoned. It's that the poison is so strong that it separated your emotions. You know, that's vicious. That's powerful. It separated it, and it pulled all the anger, the resentment, the hate, the fear, the whole 9 yards, and let all that control our lives. You know, love wasn't there because it wouldn't allow us to feel it. You know what I mean? Honesty wasn't there because who gave a shit? You know what I'm saying? None of anything on the positives in our lives and how we, you know, how we think and who we are today that's having our lives, you know, in a better place. And a great feeling, you know, and learning the most important word, as far as I'm concerned, is how to love yourself and forgive yourself and ask for forgiveness and making amends, you know, and doing all these things, cleansing yourself. You know what I mean? It just makes you feel so great. The feeling of love is powerful, you know, and it's a selfish thing. And some people is never going to understand that, or even if they have to, I do. You know what I mean? I do, because I feel so good, you know, of who I am becoming. I feel so good to where I'm at. I know that my rewards is exactly what this program said that it would be for me. And it's up to me to make it even greater, you know, just knowing and understanding my higher power. You know, and knowing the most important thing, that I am sick and I will always be sick. And I have to always stay in front of this disease and keep her in remission. Again, her name is Trey Trey. And keep her in remission. And that's the part that's still complicated sometimes and hard. But I know she there. And I know what she do. And I know she's vicious. I know she's cunning. I know she's baffling. And I know she's powerful. You know what I mean? Even though she's me. You know what I'm saying? But my medication keep her ass in remission. And that's where I'm going to try to have her stay. I know she there today. You know, I can't say for tomorrow. But today, you know, she's there. And yesterday, I kept her ass down. You follow? So tomorrow, I'm hoping to be on great top 2. You know what I mean? But I can't predict it. You know? So I can't get cocky with no matter what. You know, it's not into this day. We always make plans. So I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. Nothing's promised to nobody. You know, nothing's promised to nobody. I have some right here. You know, so again, You know, this thing is is great. These steps are powerful, and they're just as powerful or even more powerful than our sickness. That's why the sickness can't keep me down. You know what I mean? Because now I got my own ammo. You know what I mean? Called Narcotics Anonymous, 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous. I got my own Uzis. I got my own ammo and an understanding of how it works, you know. And I study that and I keep that in me every single day, you know, because I don't choose today to go back to my yesterday of living. You know, so, and even in that, I try to keep everything that happened then. I try to take inventory on it. You know what I mean? Inventory on myself. You know what I mean? About any type of situations that I have dealt with or had to deal with. You know what I mean? And if I feel as though I did right by it, you know, for me, that's just the way it's going to have to be. You know what I mean? Again, you know, I try to be very, very honest today. I try to be, you know, humble. You know, I love helping people. You know what I mean? I'm forgiving. You know what I mean? Because I had to ask for forgiveness. Step 8 was a powerful step. And I cannot see where I can't forgive somebody for something, but it has to be forgiven for me. You know, I have to I call it weight. I have to keep weight off. You know what I mean? Because I can't let myself get overwhelmed with too much because I know my disease that I battle, you know what I mean, can come through, you know, through my anger, through you know, through my resentment, you know, through anything, through my happy times, my bad times or whatever. You know what I mean? But if it's something that's like a ill or a not positive thing, an argument of any kind, I have to take inventory on me and look at my part. You know what I mean? And what I feel. You know, if I feel as though is what you want me to feel, you know, because it's what you feel. You know what I mean? And then I know how to turn it over and ask God to live and let God, just like step 8 just said. You know, and if it withers, it will. If it will be forgiven, it will. If it won't be forgiven, it won't. You know what I mean? But I'm still going to pray. I'm still going to do everything that I need to do to keep myself humble, because see, I fight a sickness. You know what I mean? And I don't need those ill feelings. I don't need any of that. And I know how to surrender, you know? And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, I can surrender and I can ask for forgiveness, you know? But if you're wrong, you know? And I would expect for you to do the same thing. You follow? And if not, okay, closed circuit. I don't know if y'all caught that, but that's just part of what this has taught me, you know, and how strongly and my beliefs in it, you know, are there for me. It's like food, it's like medication, and you know, it helps me to keep Trey out of my situations, you know what I'm saying? And help me to try to analyze right and think right and make positive choices, you know what I mean, and positive decisions. Basically, that's all what I was saying, you know, but I can't let it weigh me down. I can't let it take me. Just like, you know, today I'm dealing with a lot of weight. You know what I mean? I'm hurting really bad, you know, from, you know, losing my brother, you know, but I know that we live to die. You know, we're born to die. You know what I mean? And I know that that's the truth, you know, and that's just how life is, you know, but just being, and I'm so humbled that I'm sane mind and I'm not in my active disease, you know what I mean? And I was able to, you know, to love on him and talk with him and share his time with him, you know what I mean? And these are the things that keep me so, you know, not so down, you know what I mean? Because I know that, you know, I love him and he know he loves me, you know, and we have a very loving family. You know what I mean? And we all loving on each other just to keep each other up and keep each other right and keep each other well. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I'm not out there in the streets doing what I used to do and couldn't have been a part of this. You know what I mean? You know, so it's just so much that my mind goes back to, you know, and I'm so grateful for, you know, today for being in recovery and living the lifestyle of a recovering addict. You know, and keeping my thinking strong and my emotions tight with my thinking, you know, that works for me and I know it'll work for you, you know. So, again, tonight was a good night for me because I needed y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I needed this. I needed to have my head right where it's at and in these steps, you know. And when I go off today, I'm going to continue in these steps, you know, because it's helping me to deal with death as well. And that's something that is hard for me, you know, but it's going to keep me locked and keyed where I need to be, you know. And I thank everybody for being on here. You know, I have to say that every time that we come on, you know. Again, disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. Again, step 8 is the time where you start thinking about who you want to give, you know, ask for forgiveness, you know what I mean? And, you know, you've already had, you know, the steps that has built you to want to ask for forgiveness and understand why we need to ask for forgiveness. All of this is part of cleansing out all that ill will, you know, and being truthful and honest. And the more that you know, get truthful and you stay honest, you become so much stronger, so much better. You know what I mean? You start feeling a whole kind of like lifestyle, you know, and learning how to live in a lifestyle that was so brutal and crazy. And whether or not people forgive you or when people forgive you or if people don't forgive you, you forgave you. And you knew that this can happen, but it does not stop you from fixing you and moving on in your life, you know. That's very important, you know, to be able to accept things that we can't change because we can't, and change things that we can because we can, and have the wisdom to know the difference, the understanding of why this situation is the way that it is because of what I've done to you, you know. But I do forgive. I am asking for forgiveness, and that's the part of it that makes your mission great, you know. So again, with emotions and feelings and hurts and pains, if people don't want to accept that from you, it's still the wisdom to know the difference, that it is possible. Step 8 prepares you for that, you know. And then in step 9 goes into putting that in motion. So again, each step prepares you for the next step and the next level of how that will work with your forgiveness, your surrendering, you know what I mean? You're making change in your life, your acceptance, you know, the whole 9 yards. So everything that comes out of this is great, actually. You know what I mean? Because the most important thing is you and where you stand with it, you know. And if people want to change and accept, you know, us back in their lives, that's the most beautiful thing in the world. But even if they don't, you know, it's like, damn you do, damn you don't. That's the most beautiful thing in the world too, because I'm able to understand why. I'm able to surrender. I'm able to, you know, I tried making amends. You know what I mean? I'm asking for forgiveness. You know, I'm doing all the things that I need to do to replenish myself, you know, so I can be a better person and I can go on and live on with a peace of mind. But recovery teaches us how to live with that, you know, also, you know, because, again, people don't have to. You know, people don't have to look at us different anymore. They can still feel the same way about how they feel about us, you know, from the things in the life that we live. And that's okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? Because you're the one that's have to live your life. And our higher power gives us that opportunity as he gives everybody else. You know what I mean? We know that we live with a sickness that's cunning, baffling, and powerful. You know, we know that in this sickness it's dealing with people, places, and things. You know what I mean? This teaches us that. It teaches us how to become sane again and living with the insane sickness that we'll be living with the rest of our lives. You know, and it all sounds complicated and crazy and difficult because it is, you know, but your power, you're willing, you're wanting, you know, you just got to want it. You got to want it, and you got to go through the aches and the pains, because no pain, no gain. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? This thing is not smooth, but every time you come to believe and every time you work these steps, it gets better and it gets better and it gets better. You know what I mean? Until you becoming doing the same thing I'm doing. Oh, I got to help people. I got to let people know we ain't got to stay there. I got to let people know that this just don't work for addicts because it make you see life. You start seeing life on life terms, things you never even thought of or things you never do where you could ever even get. You know what I mean? Don't think, people that's living without drugs and alcohol don't suffer with some of the same things that we suffer with drugs and alcohol. You know what I mean? Or why they use drug and alcohol. You follow? And, feeling like they can, and they will. But guess what? We learn the real deal of the poison that we're taking, the poison that gets in our mind and that little conscience of ours and make us think that it feels good and it is good. You know what I mean? But poison is poison. I'm going to say that every time. Poison is poison. And it is a slow type of damn sickness. This shit is crazy. It's a slow little sneaky little ass. You know what I'm saying? And it'll work on you. And sometimes some of us get through it and sometimes some of us don't. So some make it and some don't. But it affects us in every way physically inside. You know what I mean? In your body, in your organs. The poison is not supposed to be there. So, but anyway, it's a slow thing, and it tries to catch us any way it possibly can. That's my belief. Okay, so I'm not telling you that that's what you have to feel, but that's what I see today. You know what I mean? And since I've been without that shit, I've been better. You know what I mean? Physically, shit, I'm starting to feel stuff, inside because we all getting older and everybody is born to get old. You know what I mean? As we are born to die. You know what I mean? So trying to keep ourselves up and doing what we do, you know what I mean? Or getting high, it was fun. I'm not going to say that it wasn't. Not smoking that damn coke wasn't, but out there partying and doing all the stuff I was doing, I wouldn't tell you that I didn't have fun, but that shit caught me, you know what I mean? It got me caught in the hole. It put me in the black hole. You know what I mean? So this is why I speak for me and I speak what I feel and I speak what I say. You don't have to believe what I say, but that's just how it keeps me away from that shit that I ain't got to do it no more. And I'm convinced that I can have fun today. I'm convinced I don't have to live with it anymore today, and that's what makes me feel so good. And I love this feeling. I'm going to try to keep this feeling and I'm going to try to keep giving this information and education that I've learned about this feeling and keep teaching those 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. And again, if I get one that believes in what I'm saying, hey, look, that's another one on cue. You know what I mean? I don't have to have a power, all these 55 million Ks and all that shit. I got them right now. You know what I mean? And I am grateful for that because my job is well done. You follow? So, and my living my life shows my change in me, to me, for me. You know what I mean? Anybody else to see it, thank you very much. Because some people won't want to see it. They get blind by it. Don't want me to be better. You know what I mean? Some are always to see us down in the hole or never let things that we used to do go. And that's the forgiveness that we asking for on top of that. You know what I mean? But that's okay. That's fine, because I know my truths. I know that I surrendered. I know that I've been accepted. That there is a higher power greater than myself. I come to believe in all of this. You know what I mean? And the results of the rewards is great. Here she is. You know what I mean? And I love her. I love this person that you guys are sharing on this live with. I love her so much. I have to love her more than I can love anybody else. So I can keep my sickness in check and have my love for you, my children, like I said, my husband, my loved ones, everybody. You know what I mean? I ain't got to know you. The people that help me, I ain't know them, but they help me willingly. All because, they suffered with the same sickness that I suffered with. I'm not selfish about that. I want to explore that. I want to help people with that, but you can only help yourself to make it happen. I'm not an angel. I'm not a God. I can't cure you. I can't even cure my damn self because it ain't no damn cure. All I can do is stay aware. My awareness is strong and my awareness is deep. And I have a higher power and I know how to pray today. You know what I mean? And I stay in my steps, you know, and this will be my steps for me today and hopefully tomorrow, because it was yesterday, a whole lot of yesterdays that added up to all these years of recovery. You know what I mean? Even bouncing in and bouncing out, you know what I mean? And knowing how to get truthful and honest with myself. And that's what makes me feel so beautiful. That's my beauty. And that's what makes me feel so great. You know what I mean? And have my world peaceful around me and living in a crazy ass world. You know what I'm saying? But I know how to make my space, you know, and that's the great thing. And I don't have to, you know, get high with society anymore. That's a damn another high of its own. You know what I mean? I can make my choices and my decisions and then still love you, even if you don't love me. You know what I mean? And still care about you, even if you don't care about me. You know what I mean? Because the most important person is me. You know, so get yourselves a pad and a pencil, you know, a pen, and start writing some things down. You know, things that you want to make change in, like things that you didn't realize. Like one side is the good things, one side is the bad things. You know, write about yourself. That's like taking an inventory about yourself. You know, sometimes I have to write things down still today to try to listen to myself, you know, and say, you know, well, writing it, I could look at it and read it and be like, yeah, I could have did that differently, or I could have, you know, said this differently. It just works for me. That's just some of my tools, you know, some of my techniques, you know, because you will develop your own. But this is why we share our strengths and our hopes, because what happens for us can happen for you too. You know, and then what don't work for you may not work for me, or what works for me may not work for you. But I know I hear something from everybody, whether or not it's good or whether or not it's bad. You know, because this recovery is so vicious. You become aware of these things. You know what I mean? And learn from the good and learn from the bad too. You know, make better choices from the good and the bad. You know what I mean? And feel great every time you do it. You know what I mean? So it strengthens you. It gives you the strength. It gives you the power of you. You know what I mean? And how you see things. You know, and if the things is right, it gives you an opportunity to evaluate it. You know what I'm saying? And say, or yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this thing is just a beautiful program, if that's what you want to call it. You know, or it's a beautiful religion, or it's a beautiful, you know, guidance, you know, name it whatever you want. It don't matter to me, you know what I mean? Because it's all that to me, you know, because I want it all, you know, I want it all, you know, I want to be able to stay great and get greater, you know, I want to be able to live life and live it well, you know, and live it happy, you know, everything ain't going to be happy because we crazy, you know what I'm saying? I'm still crazy, don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? But I don't do drugs and alcohol no damn more. You know what I mean? And that took a whole lot of sinning and all the crazy shit that I had going on with me and the thinking that I had going on me away. You know what I mean? So I'm going to stick with what I'm doing, you know, and I hope what I'm saying and some things that I'm offering you and information that I'm giving you can help you and, you know, or help a loved one or a friend or whomever is dealing with this type of situation. You know what I mean? But get prepared, you know, for forgiveness. That's where we are on step 8. And then step 9 is going to be where we put it in play. You know what I mean? So again, spread, you know, share this live, you know, with as many people as you possibly can. You know, there's a lot of people watching. I will tell you guys that, you know, or get the chance to watch. It is on YouTube, you know, and a little on live and some of these other things that, you know, my kids do all that stuff. But right now, my main focus is to do what I'm doing now, you know, and putting it out there to you on this live, you know, and to hope that I can help, you know, people in places doing things, you know, with change in their lifestyle of becoming and living a recovering addict or alcoholic, you know. And again, it's 2 things. One is an addict, and then the other is a recovering addict. You know, again, it just don't stop at not using. You know, recovery goes on for life. You know, and changing thinking as learning in this information that was put together for us is what really allows us to start, you know, maintaining, you know, staying clean. You know, that's what does it. This changing thinking, staying aware, Staying alert is what allows us to keep using in check. You know, so again, we come to the time, and it always comes when, you know, I really start feeling like I want to say a whole lot more, you know, but we got another day, and it will come again if God bless us with it, you know. And I thank everybody for being on. Again, if you want to come sit with me and share, and, you know, your strengths and hopes, your pains, your aches, whatever, you know, that's what this is for. There's no shame to the game. You know what I mean? It's all about feeling better, getting better, and living a good life, and understanding you, you know, and wanting, you know, the love, or getting clean, the cleanness and the sereneness that comes along with this. So it's 8:02. You know, time just go by so fast. You know, when I'm on here. And you guys stay right on, and you there listening, you know, and I appreciate that so very much. So for next week, next Wednesday at 7 p.m., you know, come back on with Tracy Allen, Living in Her Truths, you know, and for info and information, you know, for our loved ones who, you know, need to understand or try to get some information and understanding of how, you know, we live and how we think, you know, and that can help you to become stronger with it too, you know, and see things in a different area. And the more that they hear us share and hear us talk, you know what I mean, it can help the loved ones, you know what I mean, get to understand us. So a lot of you that are in recovery, again, are welcome to come on this live or get on a live. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's needed, and it's needed really bad. So let's think about that. And I'll see you guys next week. And thanks for holding up with me. You know, this was a great meeting for me, you know, and it's given me some strength, you know, to continue my night, you know, and have a peaceful state of mind, you know. So until next week, y'all show me some hearts, and I'll get back. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you, Mona. I can still see y'all. Who's that? Nicole. Hey, Al. Niche. What's up, Niche? Thank y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Don't forget, share this on your phone. Share it on your lives. I mean, your phones. What is it called, Niche? Share it.
Just share it on your page.
Share it on your page. You know, continue to share it on your page. There's a lot of young folks on here too. It makes me feel so good. You know, that even the young wants to listen is a beautiful thing. You know, don't get yourself trapped up in that type of world. Thanks again, y'all. I'll see y'all next week.